I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mike. My
Um,
voice went weak there first,
Welcome.
just when I went to talk. Oh,
I don't have my glasses on today, so I'm a little bit
oh,
blind.
uh,
But that's okay. I don't need to see today. I'm not researching much. I'm kind of leaving the
that's right.
researching in your hands on anything that we need to research. And, I'm just here for the vibes.
Yeah, this is a non-research related episode, I would call it.
Right.
Um, so I happen to, by the way, welcome to the A&M podcast.
Yeah, I hope everyone who was able to get a 3-day weekend enjoyed it. I hope you
Yeah,
got some sun. I did for sure, and I'm very happy about that.
yep.
I'm getting some color back, getting
I'm
that winter look out of here.
yeah, I'm trying to maintain my cruise tan.
Oh yeah, true. You
Yeah,
did get a head start from all of
yeah,
us.
I
You know
did.
what was funny is like I was in the sun all day on Saturday, Sunday. Sunday I was in the sun all day. And when I finally got I was feeling the whole day I was outside too. I wasn't feeling like any kind of sunburn or anything like that. I actually was like, wow, I'm actually tanning pretty well out here. Like, given the fact that I'm just using oil as my sunscreen, like the 15 SPF, oil or whatever. That's all
Oh,
I
okay. I
had.
thought for some reason I was thinking like avocado
EVOO.
oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, EVOO.
A
Maybe a
nice,
little
a nice,
peanut oil.
yeah, a nice neutral oil. And they say that's better for high temperatures.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was out there and I was like, I'm getting a pretty good like tan. I don't feel burnt or anything. And then immediately when I get in the shower and I started feeling my sunburn. I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I get out and I'm like putting my lotion on and stuff and I'm just like, dang,
How
I
did I
did
get
not
this
look
red?
this red 10 minutes ago, I
Yeah. Yeah.
swear.
I feel like it always hits you when you're in the shower for some reason. Like it's like,
Yeah.
oh, why does that water feel that
Everything
way?
came to surface. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I'm in the kitchen
I think I,
and
I just had the shower set too warm. It wasn't a sunburn. That was a burn
right.
burn.
Right, that's all it had to be. I was in the kitchen and Adrian like touched my shoulder and he's like, "Oh my God, like wait, you're actually hot. You need to go sit down. Like your skin is like
Yeah.
warm." It's like, "No,
Yeah.
no, no, it's fine. It's just a sunburn. It'll be gone tomorrow." Like that's always a famous line too of like, "No, no, 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 no. It's
Yeah.
gonna turn into tan tomorrow. We're fine here.
Yeah.
We're fine."
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that kind of ties into what I wanted to talk about today. I saw this on, I think it was on one of the local news stations. They did kind of a poll on this topic, and I thought it
Mhm.
was an interesting one, so I thought it'd be a good one to do.
Yeah.
Um, the poll was, when does summer start? Like,
Mhm.
when do you consider that summer starts? I think the three options they discussed anyway were Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah.
June 22nd, or whenever the summer solstice is, when the official, the actual calendar summer starts, or whenever the kids get out of school, if there's kids, if you're wherever you live when school is out.
Mhm.
Which one is appropriately summer? It had me thinking about that. I'm like, I think it changes. I think when you
Oh
have
no.
when you have little kids that are in school, it's
Mhm.
definitely that is the okay, it's summertime now. Everybody's out of school.
Mhm.
But I think I also was thinking about when we lived up north,
Yeah.
and when we lived up north, it was Memorial Day weekend because that no matter how the weather was still up there, like I think actually up in Pennsylvania this weekend, it was only in the 60s or low 70s. It didn't matter. That was when it was like, all right, we're past Memorial Day's here.
Mhm.
Now we're gonna start getting the nice weather, whether it was actually there or not. That was when your brain started thinking summer.
Mhm. Um. So me personally, I would probably say it's been summer even before Memorial Day in my head. Just because it's so hot in Florida that like pretty much once we started hitting those like it's not even cool anymore in the morning time
Yeah.
temperatures, then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I am in summer vibe. I will say, I guess like, Memorial Day and the end of school kind of go like hand in hand. Like right now it's literally Memorial Day is this week and the last day of school. So,
By the way, can I just say, stupidest thing in the world
Isn't that
is
crazy?
that
Yeah.
Memorial Day was, well, we're recording this on Monday, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Memorial Day was today. The last day of school is tomorrow.
No, last day of school
What?
is Wednesday.
Oh,
At least
so
for
they're off tomorrow. So they're off tomorrow. Or they have school tomorrow.
school Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay, that makes it worse. 2 days. They couldn't find two
Right.
days somewhere else in their calendar
Yeah.
to go to school if they even needed those 2 days.
Mhm.
No, we're gonna make the kids go Tuesday and Wednesday of Memorial Day week. That's just
And
stupid.
in some counties, it's like this week, not our county, but some counties they even have it where not only do they only go like a couple days this week, but they're half days. So it's kind of like, and really all they're doing this week anyway, it's pretty much just to finish out those last couple days. Because I know,
Yeah,
like, at least with the girls, just like class parties and movie days that they're doing.
yeah,
Like tomorrow's pajama day and Wednesday's a class party,
yeah.
so
Which, I mean, at least they make
fun
it
for,
fun for them, but
yeah,
it
like they
just
wanna,
seems so silly.
they wanna go just because it's, you're going to school with a bunch of your friends and you're just hanging out the whole
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it is very silly,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. When I heard that, I was like, they gotta go. Like, well, I thought it was just one day after,
Yeah,
which would
that
have
would
been
be
worse. If it
crazy.
was just tomorrow, that would just be because
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you right now, nobody would be in school if it was just
Mhm.
tomorrow. Like there would be almost no one in school.
Mhm.
Um, but I agree because that's with you with what you said about in Florida, it's been
Yeah.
summer for a few weeks. Like it's always funny to me when we get around to the summer solstice and they're like, "Hey, it's the first day of summer,"
Mhm.
and it's like it's felt like summer for like 3 months. What are you even talking about?
Right. Yeah.
But
No,
then,
I think when you're in school, the first day of summer is definitely obviously like when you finish school.
yeah, yeah. Even though that's like generally at
A
least
month.
a month or close to a month before actual summer starts.
When is the first day of fall? So summer
First
is
day of
June
fall.
22nd.
I
I
think it's
had no
September
idea.
21st. I think it's September 21st. I always forget, to be honest.
Oh, it is. No, it is September. Yeah, I think it is September 21st.
Okay. Yeah. And June 22nd is first day of summer.
Yeah.
We're adult human beings. We should know these things, but,
Yeah, but the thing is,
you
like,
know,
to me, what do I need to know that information for? You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah. Oh, June 21st. So it's always the 21st, I guess. It's actually
Oh,
very
true.
specific. Sunday, June 21st at 4:24 a.m. is when it's the first day of summer. And I know it's based on, you know,
What
things
it
with the
does.
planets and all
Oh,
that.
okay. Because I was also gonna say, like, even in terms of like when we do time changes, and with the time change, it's always like at 2 a.m.
Right.
Why is that?
Yeah, that's true too. Like, why? Um, funny, unrelated but sort of related story on that topic of time changes. So when we were going back to the cruise,
Mhm.
when we were on the cruise, was it our first island? I think it was our second island, was
Mhm.
Jamaica. And when we were headed to Jamaica, they said, "Oh, by the way, turn your clocks back an hour
Mhm.
tonight." And I was like, "Oh, are we going that far?" Like I'm thinking, "Wait, are we going into the central time zone? Are we that far west to get to Jamaica?" And I'm looking on the map, then I'm like, Jamaica is pretty much due south of Florida. Um, and so we looked into it, and here like Jamaica and Grand Cayman and Cozumel they might actually be in the central time zone, but those three islands or three
Mhm.
islands do not switch to daylight saving time. So they were
Oh.
still on standard time. So that's why we had to turn the clock back when we went there and then go forward coming back.
Oh, so
Our
it had
last
nothing
day of
really to do with
yeah,
necessarily the
they
time zone
they
as
just
much
don't
as, yeah.
yeah, they don't participate in that. So that was kind of interesting to me. It also didn't really feel like we changed the clocks at all because it was just 1 hour
Yeah.
and you know we were on a boat and it was
Mhm.
time doesn't exist when you're on a cruise anyway. So
Yeah, you know, speaking about like when summer starts, it kind of it's even like fun like with especially like when you're around the kids and they're all hyped because it's like almost summer break and stuff. And it makes you
yeah.
remember like, wow, yeah, when I was a kid it was like a super exciting feeling when summer
Oh
break is
yeah.
rolling around. But then I also remember it ending so fast too because but actually not even really ending so fast, but feeling like it ends so fast because I don't know, I feel that pretty much right after they're putting up once 4th of July passes and they are done with like those decorations in the store, they pretty
Yeah.
much wait maybe a week or two and then they jump right into
I no, I don't even think they wait a week or two. I think July 5th, if you go into Hobby Lobby,
back to school.
yeah, they're gonna have well, Hobby Lobby it'll be fall. They'll
Oh,
have the fall stuff up.
that's true.
And and the 4th of July stuff will be so deeply discounted. Any of the American stuff will be so deeply discounted that
Yeah.
you're silly if you don't buy it. Because that was the other
Mhm.
thing that I was thinking of was when you hit 4th of July, even though it's not, summer's over. At that point, it's like summer's over. You're on a roller coaster and you're on that downhill part going towards fall at that point.
Yeah, especially like even in terms of like getting out of school, like you're already out of school for
Mm,
geez, like
yeah,
over a month at that point.
yeah,
And so it already feels like, it's been a decent long vacation so
yeah,
far. I don't know, a month is a
yeah.
long time to be off. I think it's pretty cool to be somebody that works at the school and you get all that guaranteed time off.
Yeah, yeah, all at once too. And
Right.
and and the thing is, like again, talking about the schools down here, by the time July 4th comes, you're only a couple of weeks away from school starting again. So
Yeah, that's true.
it
Yeah.
is, it is pretty much over at that
Yeah,
point. But it's just so funny because July 4th to me is right in the middle of summer. It's actually
that's
kind of
true.
early in summer if you
Hmm.
think about summer starting on June 21st.
Hmm.
July 4th is roughly 2 weeks later.
Yeah, we just looked today and back to school is August 11th this year. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
they
do you
used to be
remember the
back to
one
school
year
in
it was
September.
well, not down here ever,
No,
I
up
don't
in
think.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah, yeah, there it
more
was
like
like
late
right
August.
after either right before or right after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Um, but do you remember the year down here in Florida that the first day of school was like July, end of July? I
No.
forget if it was the 31st.
Oh my God, that's
I think it was
awful.
July 31st. Yeah. Yeah, people complained about it because they were like, it's still too hot to be going to school. I mean, but if
Well,
you went by that, they wouldn't go to school till what, sometime in late October.
yeah, that's always crazy to me too because like, August, I think of August as a primary summer month. Like when I think about the fact that school starts on August 11th and mom's birthday isn't till the
Yeah.
16th, like
Yeah.
I'm just like that's crazy because I think of her birthday as such a summer birthday,
Yeah.
but
Well, yeah,
like
we used to every year over her birthday, like do a couple days at the beach or something
yeah.
for her birthday. So like the idea of doing that, and it would be as well. And I'm sure when we have done it, probably school was already started. So
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
like that's kind of crazy to me too because geez.
yeah, yeah,
That's why when we moved down here at first I had the frizziest hair because it was just so hot and humid, like middle of summer, just starting school. Like, oh my gosh, I
yeah,
should be in a swimming pool right now. Instead, I'm trying to adjust to this Florida humidity and
yeah.
walking around
Uh,
school trying to stay in dress code, but God, I just want to wear a tank top.
Yeah, right, right. And the only plus side is that the schools in Florida all have air conditioning, which I don't think the ones up in Pennsylvania really had air conditioning.
Yeah, they did.
Did
John's
they?
got
I don't know. I don't know.
AC.
I feel like I'm thinking of my school, and I don't know if it did. I can't
My
say it
school
didn't,
definitely had AC,
but
I have to say.
yeah, I don't know. It must have. It must have. I'm just not remembering
You
it,
know
but
what's so
it must
crazy
have.
though? Like I've talked about it like before, but like I think of back when we did live in Pennsylvania, and it's so crazy because I feel like when I do talk about it, especially like to the kids or something, I feel like it's like that old person like back in my day, because especially given like the fact that yeah, back in my day when we were in Pennsylvania, like we didn't have central AC. Like we
Yeah.
had an AC unit in the living room, you had one in your bedroom, and then we had ceiling fans in our bedroom. And like it doesn't sound as torturous, or it wasn't as torturous as it may sound, because
Yeah.
to me, like I was comfortable at night.
Yeah. Do you remember we had those window fans? We
Yeah,
had
yeah,
those
yeah.
fans that would
The
go in
window
the
fan.
window, and at night they would pull in
Yeah.
because the air would get cooler at night up there. Yeah. I
Yeah,
I,
no,
I love those. Those are
that's the
great.
difference, I think. Like in Pennsylvania, it wasn't hot at night like it is here at night.
Yeah.
Here, you
Sometimes it
couldn't
was.
you
Sometimes
couldn't
it
really
was.
do that. I remember back in back in Adrian's old place, the AC broke for like a little bit, and like they took forever to fix it. So I was like, I got this. And he had like a big box fan, and I was like, stick that thing in the window. And at night, like he would turn it on and it would like blow in the coolish
Yeah.
air from
Yeah.
outside. Because like even, now when it's like, I mean, it would have to be like extremely humid, but like unless the sun is like directly shining, it really isn't too bad if you got a fan like whipping and
Yeah.
then like some
Yeah.
ceiling fans on. Like if you have a fan
Yeah.
blowing on you even when it is humid, like it's still gonna feel better than just that stagnant air.
Oh yeah.
But I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
wow, look, that's like a jumbo window fan right there.
that's that's
Brings
look
me
at look at
back.
look at you being an innovator. Yeah.
And honestly, like I kind of like like the fresh air being blown in from
Yeah.
outside.
Oh yeah, there's nothing better down here than when you're at that time of year where it is cooler out, but
Yeah.
your house is still warm and you can open the window and get that fresh air,
Mhm.
cooler fresh air blowing through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you talking about like, olden times and that the one thing that they always say like, when I was a kid, I had to walk to school both uphill both ways in the snow.
Right.
And how about this? It wasn't uphill both ways, but when I was a kid, I remember
Just one
one
way.
day, yeah, that's right. I remember one day where, and I forget why I did this, but we got early dismissal out of school
Mhm.
because of snow. It was, it was like bad out.
Yeah.
And I forget why I did this, but I was like, I'm just going to walk home. So I walked home. And it wasn't close. I didn't live that close to the school.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't remember how long it took me to get home, but I regretted it about halfway there. But once you're halfway there, you just got to go the rest of the way because
Might as
what are
well
you going to
go
do now?
back. If you go back, you're
Yeah.
walking just as far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
So
my
that was,
god.
that was fun. Yeah. So I did actually I had to walk home from school in the snow.
That's
I didn't have
crazy.
to. I just chose to for some silly reason. Yeah.
That's
That's why I
like,
don't want to live in the snow ever again. No child should have to go through that.
oh, right. It clearly caused you some form of trauma if you're still talking about it to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
um,
Actually, I'd forgotten about it until we started this discussion and now it brought some things up, so now I'm going to have
wow, I
PTSD
know.
over it.
That's why
So,
they say like, sometimes therapy works.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Is that what that's what our podcast is, right? It's
Yeah, it is.
therapy.
It is.
It's our own
Um,
form of therapy.
that's like the one day I thought this was funny. It was like about to storm. It wasn't even really storming, and honestly, looking back, I don't even think it really ever stormed anything crazy because I don't think we've
Hmm.
had any recent like storms, long
Down
lasting
here?
ones at least. Yeah, not
Oh,
really
yeah.
recently.
Not
Maybe
yeah,
like
not
a little quick
recently.
one or something, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, the kids like they get out of school at 3, and the school had sent out a text saying like, "Hey, come pick your kids up at 2:45 instead of 3 today to beat the rain." No,
Wow.
we didn't see it, but in time, so they got picked up at 3.
Oh,
But
so they got picked up a second. Wow. So,
yeah,
oops.
I had to get to the
Yeah, it
car like,
seemed
"Didn't you see the text?" for 2:45. I'm like, really? They wanted everyone to just like get there 15 minutes earlier, like
Yeah.
sending
Like
this
yeah, like
extra last
what
minute,
if
like
that's not an option? Yeah, that's
yeah,
kind of silly. Like if that's the case, have the buses ready and put the kids on those buses.
that's so crazy.
So, okay, so we've made the determination that summer starts in Florida like what? April 15th. It starts April 2nd, I think it starts
Yeah,
in Florida.
yeah.
But
After
everywhere else,
Easter.
I think yeah, exactly. Everywhere else in the country, I would say probably it feels like summer started now, like right after Memorial Day.
Yeah, because what's the temperature in Pennsylvania right now? Is it like warm up
Uh
there?
it actually not that warm. No. It was I think it was only in the 70s today. Hold on, I'm
Oh, it's
checking.
64 there right now. 70 is the high.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
79 by
So,
midweek, but then it goes back to 70 the next day, and then
yeah.
62
Yeah.
next Saturday. Oh
Yeah,
my
so
God,
there
62 is a high
yeah.
for next
And it's
Saturday.
May. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't
It's
do
gonna
that
be
anymore.
June by
Couldn't do it.
then.
Yeah.
They're gonna be in June with a
Yeah.
high of
That's
62.
it's going to be June. Doesn't sound as good as it's going to
It
be May
doesn't
though.
sound as good.
Yeah. Can't the jokes aren't as good there.
Yeah,
So I have
I go ahead.
no. Mine's a different topic, so please continue.
No, I was gonna say like I think pretty much after Easter, even though May in my head sounds like a very spring spring month, I would say after Easter, pretty much immediately that's when it starts getting hotter down here, and
Yeah.
that's when I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get highlights and go to the beach. Like at
Yeah.
this point, like
Putting
what's your
away the
pool temperature?
sweatshirts, breaking out the tank tops, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
now, like, I also don't really like, I feel like winter's, like, I don't know, summer fashion is a lot more fun as well.
Yeah.
Way more
I agree with
colorful.
that. I agree with that. Totally agree with that. So my I wanted to switch topics on us though. So that's why I'm the recap is I think Florida it's right after Easter. Everywhere else it's right after Memorial Day is when summer starts. That's the rule. Don't argue with it.
True.
Um and then fall starts July 5th. Is that what we're saying? Fall starts July 5th.
No. I would
No.
say
Okay.
fall starts, like, honestly, the first day of fall being September 21st, I would say that that's pretty accurate of, like, when fall starts in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Like,
everywhere too that's kind of true.
mid to end of September is kind of when
Yeah. Yeah,
fall
because that's
starts
when
to me.
it's like acceptable to start, actually, well, actually pumpkin spice has been out for 2 months, I think, at that point, but let's
The
not go down
but
that path already.
But that's kind of, I think that's where it really does, like, weather to me really does play a big part in kind of when the seasons start in your mind and when you even really want to get like into the season, because,
Yeah.
even down here, as you know, this past year, it was kind of warm in December, like November,
Mm-hmm.
December. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really, really hard to get into the holiday spirit when it's hot outside. It's hard
Yeah.
to like have my Christmas tree up and my AC bumping. And then
Yeah.
after that, after by the time I take my Christmas tree down, you know, in the beginning of January, then Florida's weather kind of starts getting like very cold and very, wow, if it was like this a month ago, that would have been perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the same kind of thing goes with fall to me. Like in September is, I think, the best month for when fall starts, but it's also kind of still hard to get into that in Florida because even in September, it's really hot here. I could never
Mm-hmm.
get into it in August. August, again, is just too summery of a month for me, and it's really
Right.
hot here still in August.
Right.
I mean, even in October, it's still pretty warm a lot of time. It's like hit or miss because even I
So
guess
you won't be like early September, you won't be pulling out your orange wreaths and that stuff and putting
mm,
no?
No, I wouldn't say so. I'm not very
Uh,
usually too premature on the fall decorations like that.
yeah,
Mid-September probably maybe, but again, when it's just so hot outside, it's really hard for me to get into the vibe of that. Now,
yeah, I get that.
I'm a little earlier on Christmas, but that's just because, like, by that time, I'm already in the holiday spirit. I've already decorated
Yeah,
for Halloween and fall, and
yeah,
Thanksgiving rolled around, and all the stores are playing Christmas music. Like, now I'm into it. Now I'm in the mix.
yeah,
But,
yeah. That's more a mental thing than I get what you're saying too, because like I feel like with football, um,
oh, yeah,
like
football too.
when you get a Saturday or a Sunday where it's a
hmm
little bit cool, and that it's like, oh, this feels like football weather. That's
Yeah.
the mindset there.
When I step outside and I feel that first cool breeze of the season, then I'll put my orange wreath up on the door.
Yeah,
But,
then you'll go get your first pumpkin spice
oh my God, that is a good
latte.
feeling though. Like I have it in
Yeah,
my head right now as we talk about it. I have the exact
yeah,
feeling that I love. And it's a coolish day outside. Like the sun is still out, the Florida sun is still hot, so it's still kind of warm, but
right.
it's like a cool warm.
Yeah, like if you're
And
in the shade, you need a sweater on.
if you're in the shade, it could be a little chilly. And there's a
Yeah,
breeze. And I'm walking through Michael's craft store and I'm smelling all the, cinnamon and spices, spice
yeah,
poopery or whatever it's called, potpourri.
yeah.
Oh,
Poopery,
poopery is the
poopery is the stuff you spray in your toilet. That's not. I mean, you could have
Wow,
pumpkin spice
their
poopery.
marketing worked.
Yeah.
Potpourri.
I love that.
Um, yeah. Like that's the
Yeah.
vibe. I'm in Michael's because, just in case you were wondering why I'm there, it's not just to smell the potpourri, it's also to get the fall decor,
Sure.
stop at Starbucks on my way home, get a little fall drink, take it home, start putting my decorations up.
Yeah.
Like even the night that I went to I think we went to it was when I was about to set up my Christmas stuff, and I think we went
hmm
to I want to say like Hobby Lobby and stuff, or some of those stores, just to get a few extra things because I don't know. Sometimes when you start decorating and you realize like, oh, the stuff is kind of old. I want kind of some
hmm
new stuff, especially if you redecorated or something. Like you
hmm
want to get some new things. So yeah, I went to Hobby Lobby to get some new decorations, and it was like kind of chilly that day. So I remember coming home and like, oh, I'm decorating. It's chilly outside. Hold on, let me slide this back door open, get that fresh
Yeah.
air coming through, put on my
Yeah.
Christmas music. Like,
Probably spent more than you planned to because it had that chill in the air, and you're like, I want all of this stuff now.
yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Forget it. I'm getting a new tree while I'm here. Actually, I did get a new tree this
Yeah.
past year.
There you are.
Spent too much, didn't get my coffee, but it's okay. We have coffee at
Yeah.
home.
Well, let me tell you, now it's into the rant. So we went to Starbucks today,
Mhm.
and I have a complaint. I have a
Oh,
complaint for at Starbucks. Uh,
okay.
so we
Starbucks,
get
if you're listening,
if you're listening, yeah, pay
everybody
attention
else, you can skip past
because
this.
all the baristas at every Starbucks near me, including the one on the boat, know my order. No, so we get in line
Mhm.
and we're sitting at the drive-through window, and we have very simple. We order it so I literally we order it so often that like half the time it's up on the screen when we pull up.
Iced coffee.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, we have a very simple order. So we pull up there and we're literally sitting behind the person that's at the box probably for 5 minutes.
Mhm.
At one point I noticed this person's looking at their phone while they're talking. So I'm like, I don't know if they're trying to figure out what they want to order and that's why they're looking at their phone. If they've got, I didn't know what was going on, but it literally took 5 minutes for them to pull up. So then, okay, fine. They pulled up. We give our order. We pull up. We're sitting there for a couple of minutes and the person comes out to says to the person in the car in front of us, we're gonna cash you out here, but then we're gonna have you pull up and park because it's gonna be a while, right? So then the person orders something else now while they're sitting there after they've given them their order. Then they give them their credit card. Then the girl goes, actually, just stay here. We're going to keep you here. We sat for at least 5 minutes. It might have even been longer than that.
Mhm.
And then we get up to the window and the girl apologizes for the wait. And we know these people. And I said, I'm actually a little bit upset that I heard you tell that person it was going to be a while. And now there was a line behind us too. And of course they hand ours are ready. They hand us ours and we're off them. But I said, I'm a little upset because I heard you tell that person, yeah, it's going to be a while. And then you handed them out 12 drinks and food.
Mhm.
And my complaint is, no, well, number one, and she said, "Oh yeah, I told them that at first, but then my supervisor said, no, we'll just keep them at the window." And I said, "Well, that's fine, but that's terribly disrespectful to the time of all these other people sitting in line while we're waiting for that person to have 12 drinks made." And I actually thought they shouldn't have even allowed that order. Like to me, if I'm running that restaurant, if I'm king of Starbucks and I'm running that restaurant, and somebody pulls up and is trying to order 12 drinks at the drive-through, I'm telling them you got to come around and come in for that
Ah,
order because you can't have your drive-through backed up like that
I
for
mean,
I mean, because it would be different if that person did a mobile order,
yeah,
like had submitted a mobile order and then went there and oh yeah, the 12 drinks are sitting here ready. But when
yeah.
you're pulling up to the window, you couldn't even, it took you 5 minutes to figure out what you were ordering.
Mhm.
And then you're tying the drive through up for, I mean, total time, I think it was about 15 minutes that it took us to get there and get our usually pull up, 2 minutes total time, maybe.
Mhm.
I just thought it was disrespectful for that person to everybody else in that line to be putting that kind of order in, at the drive-through. That's my rant.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it was inconsiderate more on the customer's perspective or the customer's side of things. They definitely, I think if you're placing a big order like that, I think it definitely is more considerate to do it ahead of time. How long did you wait? How long did you wait behind them?
I mean, I think total time from when we pulled into the line to when we pulled out with our drinks was probably 15 minutes, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
like that's
So
unheard of.
it's weird to me that they would like let them just sit at the window that long, even like this from the supervisor's perspective, because like were there people behind you too?
Yeah, there was at least two more cars behind us.
Because like
I couldn't see any further than that.
like for them, for Starbucks, like obviously that person has to wait regardless. So how I see it is like as somebody that used to work in a fast food restaurant that,
Right,
knows how to keep things going, like
right,
you want to keep your drive-through moving. So
right.
it's if you're going to be even a little bit, it's easier for me to have you park and then I will come to you and give you your order when it's done or have somebody run your
Yeah,
order out when it's done, but I want to keep this drive-through moving, especially cuz like the orders behind you aren't long orders. Like that's also the thing is
right.
like if you're in a drive-through and like we're waiting on all y'all stuff, like you got 12 drinks behind you, they got like a few desserts that we're working on then it's
Yeah,
kind of different too. Like if that person is going to get up to the window and they're going to have to wait as well, then you might as well just keep this person at the window. But I think it
right.
is weird that they wouldn't have parked them, especially if they had your order like ready to
Yeah.
go. Like your order was so simple that it's not like it takes a long time to make it in the first place.
Yeah, no, when we got up to the window, like our drinks were there. They were already ready. So, which was good. I mean, that part of it was good. They had our drinks ready, but then I feel like they should have. And, like somebody had said, well, if they had to make those drinks, even if they pulled them up, you're still going to be waiting. But obviously that wasn't the case because our drinks were there and ready when we pulled up. But it was just, like I said, I felt like shame on the person for putting that kind of order in at the drive-through. That's just it's
That was
inconsiderate. It's
very
actually
inconsiderate.
inconsiderate to the restaurant,
No,
but
yeah.
inconsiderate to anybody that's behind you. And then shame on the restaurant for not pulling them up because, you know,
Yeah.
like somebody come. I mean, honestly, like I said, if I was the manager there, I would have said you got to pull around and park for that order. You
I
can't.
don't
I
think
can't do that many drinks at the drive-through and hold up, for other people trying to come through.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily. I don't think I would have made them come inside just because I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Like it's just as easy to park them. Like I
Yeah.
won't make you come inside. Like I'll sit here and I'll
Well,
take your order.
I agree, except that it was taking this person so long to order as well. Like that,
Mhm.
I'm not exaggerating when I say they were sitting at the box for 5 minutes because
Yeah.
they were figuring out what the order was. So I don't know if other
Right.
people were texting them and that's what they were doing. I mean, 12 drinks, you were, maybe they were doing a sampling for their podcast. I don't know,
But that
but
happens all the time. Like even if I'm behind somebody, why I say I wouldn't make them pull around is only because like I would absolutely park them immediately when they got to the window. But like you can have somebody going up there for a drink or two and still
mhm.
take freaking forever. Like
Oh
how
yeah,
many times
yeah,
have you been behind somebody in the drive-through and they have no idea like what they want, where they are? That kind
yeah.
of person to me, I feel like you should either go inside or I don't know, look, it's 2026. Like look the
Yeah.
menu up
Look up
on
the
your
menu.
phone. Like that's what
Yep.
I do all the time. I'll look up the menu on my phone. I'm a big fan of placing mobile orders first because like I don't even
Yeah.
like getting up there and having to rattle everything off, especially if it's like
Mm-hmm.
custom stuff. I would much rather
Yeah.
get up there and just say, "Yeah, mobile order for Alyssa," over like, "I want this with extra this and a little bit of that and
Yeah.
a sprinkle of
Yeah.
this." Like I don't want to I don't even want to say that. I know you don't want to take my order either. So I think whether they're ordering, I can get up there. It's kind of like self checkout. Like, I can go to a self checkout with my entire grocery cart and I know I'm going to zoom through it.
Right.
Someone else can get up there with three things and take their time because they can't find the barcode on their, like, cat food. You know what I mean?
And then they scan it and it won't go and then they have to look at the barcode again because I don't know why they just maybe they're making sure they were actually scanning the yeah. Yeah, I've been behind that guy. Yeah, your mom and I when we go we
Hate
have like
that.
a
Hate that so
yeah.
much. They scan it and
Yeah.
then like the thing turns red and now they need assistance. Like, oh my God, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. He
Yeah.
has two items. Why has the person next to him already like two, three people have
Yeah.
gone through there already? Like
Yeah. And then they're buying liquor so they got to wait for that.
the
It's the
person
worst.
the self checkout person isn't around to see them, so like the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like now I'm wishing I'd gone in the regular line, even though the person in front of me had the whole belt full. They're now out, and yeah, it's a nightmare. But and your mom and I have a system when we're doing it because like I'm handing the stuff, she's scanning it. We're like we like tag team it and get a whole cart done in 12 seconds or something. So anyway, that was my rant. That was my rant on Starbucks today. So hopefully, when you go in September 12th to get your pumpkin spice latte because it's a cool day and you're putting up your fall decorations, hopefully you don't get behind that person because it will
I
totally ruin your fall mood. It will.
I feel like I get behind that person all the time. I have noticed though, like I do like I'm not too against like when I place a mobile order instead just like going and picking up inside instead of
Oh
at drive
yeah.
through as well because then you also don't get behind like there's no one for you to like get behind because usually they have that
Mm-hmm.
separate pickup area so it's not like you have to wait in a line at all like it's literally you
Yeah.
walk inside you grab it and you leave.
Yep. Yeah. Although I've usually we usually have a good experience doing the mobile pickup at the drive-through, but you're right. Like if I was in that line and I had the mobile pickup, I would be twice as angry because I'd be like, I did the right thing and mobile ordered
Mhm.
mine and they pulled up to the window not knowing what they needed. And so if that
Yeah.
person's listening to the podcast, I forbid you from listening to our podcast anymore. Actually, I don't have the authority to do that, nor would
Okay.
I,
But I
because
I do I do recommend that you check out mobile ordering. It actually is
yeah.
sometimes a little better and sometimes you get like more points and stuff too that way
Yeah,
so
that's true. And it's just to me it's easier because I
so
can do it when I'm leaving the house. If I'm going to pick up Starbucks, I can do it when I'm leaving the house.
mhm
and when I get to the window, it's already there, and I know that the because that's the other thing is like when you're doing an order that's not like let me have a caramel macchiato or something
Mhm.
like that. If it's like our order, it has a little bit. It's not super complex, but it's a specific way that we get our coffees,
Mhm.
and it's easier putting it in and knowing that it was put in right than maybe the person not hearing me and now it's you know it's just not it's not correct, and then your whole day is ruined because your Starbucks is wrong.
I haven't been to
So,
Starbucks in a long time, so my Starbucks cannot be ruined.
oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Maybe we'll have to see about maybe if Starbucks is listening to this, they could make it up by sending Alyssa some Starbucks some stars or some gift cards.
Ooh, you know what Starbucks can send me? They can send me some of the Nespresso pots. That's what I need. Those are
Oh,
so
there, yeah.
expensive. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I just
Brandon was complaining about that too. I'm seriously thinking about getting a regular espresso machine instead
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
what we were
cheaper.
talking about too. I just
Yeah.
want like a little mini one where I can just like, I don't need the whole
Yeah,
fancy frother or
well
anything
they
like that on the side. Like,
true. Yeah. Well, they have smaller ones, but if I got one, I would want the one where you put the beans in
yeah,
top
yeah,
and it
yeah.
grinds the
The
beans
beans,
because
yeah.
the fresh
Same.
beans are going to taste so much better than if you
Mhm.
had, regular coffee. So, yeah, we're thinking
Mhm.
about doing that and retiring the Nespresso. Sorry, Nespresso, but your pods are really expensive.
And it's good. Like it's good
And
coffee. I
there,
do love my
yeah.
Nespresso. I
Guess
do.
what?
But like
That that was in here. I
it's
had
just
I had
that
one of them tonight.
I'm too much of a greedy coffee drinker, I guess. I
Right.
don't know. I'm a
Yeah.
gluttonous coffee drinker.
Yeah.
And I say it's bad for my health. Okay, I drink Diet Coke and like sometimes two coffees, three if I'm feeling, fun a day.
Yeah.
And Nespresso, it comes like 10 in a box. 10 in a
Yeah.
box, and the price is like really close to $15 at this point, which like isn't bad, but now I have to ration out my K cups now or my
Yeah.
my little pods.
Your
Now I'm
your
like
pods, yeah.
I'm not feeling like somebody comes over and I want to offer you a coffee, but like
Yeah.
I'm giving you a K
Yeah.
cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm giving you a K
Yeah.
cup. I have my
Be
I
be
have
glad I didn't break out the Nescafe and make you make
right.
instant.
I have I have only enough of my little Nespresso pods to last me into 2 weeks from now when I get paid again.
Yeah.
Easy, easy.
Yeah.
I have one
So you
every
got
other day.
you got a locking cabinet that you keep the
Yeah.
Nespresso pods in. Yeah, it's
No.
it's not
Yeah, no, I
it's
haven't.
it's not good.
I haven't bought them for a while. And honestly, like the thing is, the I buy them very frequently, or not
Mhm.
frequently, very sparsely, because it's that like moment when I'm at the grocery store and I'm like, you know what? I'm in like a spending money mood. Like I save, if I save money somewhere and I'm feeling a little richer, I'll be like, okay. Well, I did
Yeah.
save 45 cents per gallon at the gas station, so fine, I'll get the Nespresso pods.
Right. Right.
But it's not like K cups where, oh, I'm running low on K cups, let me go to the store and like buy some.
Yeah, yeah,
Which I
yeah.
don't
Because the K
understand.
cups you can find them on BOGO sometimes. You can find them sometimes on set like that. That's a lot easier, and there's also more options there because you can even buy the store brand, K cups, and they're super cheap and they're acceptable coffee, But you can't do that with Nespresso.
Yeah, like I'm very big on like, you know what, actually I don't understand because you know what, I wish Aldi, if you're listening, listen up. Um you guys should come out with Nespresso pods because
Right.
My K cups that I get at Aldi, I love them. I've been on a hazelnut kick lately, and so I've been buying hazelnut coffee, and
Hmm.
I get the hazelnut K cup pods at Aldi for like $3, $4 for something. Less
Oh
than five
yeah,
bucks. Less than five
yeah,
bucks for a thing of 12, and they taste like very good. Like to
yeah.
me, it's very good coffee. It doesn't give me acid reflux. Like it's good coffee, and like I bought in a time of need. I've like, oh, okay, I'm at Walmart, like, let me just buy the Walmart brand coffee
Hmm.
right now while I'm here. Like, I don't feel like going to the other store to get my real one. Definitely not as good. Not strong,
Yeah.
not anything. But why are K cups so much cheaper than Nespresso pods? Is it just really like that much lower quality coffee? Like, I don't
I
understand.
think I think that's part of it. I think they have very high standards for the coffee that they, because if you think about when you make an espresso pod, I feel like this is an ad, but when you make an espresso pod, you think of the fullness, the flavor of those coffees. And some of it's because they do them under the high pressure like they do. So you do get more flavor because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But they are very, very flavorful coffees. So I mean that it has to be that, and they also, I mean, right, they make them themselves, like they're the only ones that sell them, and then they brand Starbucks ones. Like I think even the Starbucks ones that you buy in the store
Mm-hmm.
are made by Nespresso. They're manufactured by Nespresso. I don't think they let anybody make, like with K cups,
Right.
other companies make K cup pods.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can advertise them as K cups. I think they can advertise them maybe as compatible with Keurig or something like that. But
Right.
Nespresso, I don't even think you can make those. And the funny thing is, you can buy
That's true.
refillable ones.
That's
You
what
can
I've
buy ones that you,
They
yeah.
never come
But
out as good to me either. Because
that,
again, if
well,
I'm not
and
packing it in, like the coffee in there the right amount, that's what always happened with my
yeah,
K cup one.
yeah, yeah. That's it. That's it too. Yeah, because yeah, exactly. So I just don't want to take the chance on that because I also
Mm-hmm.
read some things that said those refillable ones can actually ruin your Nespresso. The one person said, like, basically after they use that, their Nespresso wouldn't work anymore after that. So who wants that? Like, again, I'll just go
So
buy
true.
a regular espresso maker and I'll be good to go. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all I got for this one. But didn't intend it to go into coffee discussion, but hey, that's, you know,
That's what we do over here at
that
the
is our
A&M
thing.
podcast studios.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, all right, thanks guys. Thanks for checking us out, and make sure you check out this week's True Crime Thursday. I'm not sure we talked about what we're gonna do yet, but we'll have something. I'm sure there's always crime going on, so there's always something to talk about.
Always crime going on.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Have a great Tuesday.